Almohadilla cara de ratón. Never share your plans until they become reality. Powerful life lesson. Have you ever told everyone about a big dream, only to watch it disappear before it came true? What if sharing your plans too early was the very reason they never happened? Stay with me until the end of this heartwarming story, because a tiny little mouse will teach us a powerful lesson that even many adults forget. And before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Money Tales for more inspiring stories filled with wisdom, adventure, and life lessons. Once upon a time, in a peaceful green forest surrounded by tall trees and colorful flowers, there lived a cheerful little mouse named Milo. Milo was known by everyone in the forest. It was friendly. It was energetic. And he loved dreaming about great things. Every morning, he would wake up with a brand new idea. One day he wanted to build the fastest cart in the forest. The next day he wanted to become the richest mouse. Another day he wanted to grow the biggest garden. Milo's dreams were always exciting. But there was one problem. Whenever he had a new plan, he immediately told everyone about it. It told his friends. It told his neighbors. It told strangers. It even told birds flying overhead. I have a wonderful plan, he would proudly announce. Everyone would clap and praise him. Wow, Milo. That's amazing. What a brilliant idea. You are going to be famous. Milo loved hearing these compliments. The praise made him feel successful before he had even started working. Unfortunately, most of his plans never became reality. Days would pass. Then weeks. Eventually, Milo would lose interest. The dream would quietly disappear. Then he would find a new dream and repeat the same mistake. One sunny morning, Milo ran through the forest with sparkling eyes. I have the greatest idea ever, he shouted. His best friend Benny the rabbit hopped over. What is it this time? Milo puffed out his chest proudly. I'm going to build a giant cheese house. The biggest cheese house anyone has ever seen. The animals gathered around him. A cheese house. That's incredible. How exciting. Milo smiled proudly. For the next hour, he described every detail. The golden cheese walls. The cheese tower. The cheese garden. The cheese balcony. The more he talked, the more excited everyone became. That evening, Milo returned home feeling wonderful. Everyone admired him. Everyone believed in him. Everyone praised his dream. The next morning, however, he felt less excited. The day after that, he did nothing. A week later, the cheese house existed only in his imagination. Not a single brick had been built. One afternoon, while walking sadly through the forest, Milo met Oliver the owl. Oliver was the wisest animal in the entire forest. Animals often visited him when they needed advice. Oliver noticed Milo's disappointed face. Why are you sad today, little mouse? Milo sighed. I don't understand. You always have great ideas. Everyone loves my plans. But somehow nothing ever happens. Oliver nodded thoughtfully. Tell me, what do you do when you get a new idea? I tell everyone immediately. And then, everyone praises me. And then, Milo looked down. Usually nothing. Oliver smiled gently. I think I know the problem. What is it? Milo asked eagerly. The forest is full of dreamers, Milo. But dreams become reality only through quiet work. Milo scratched his head. I don't understand. Oliver pointed toward a nearby stream. Look at that river. Milo looked. The river flowed smoothly between the rocks. Do you hear it bragging about reaching the ocean? No. Does it announce its plans every morning? No. It simply keeps moving forward. Day after day. And eventually, it reaches its destination. Milo thought carefully. Oliver continued. When you tell everyone about your plans, you receive praise before you do the work. Your brain begins feeling rewarded too early. The excitement disappears. Then the hard work feels less important. Milo blinked. No one had ever explained it like that before. So what should I do? Oliver smiled. Choose one dream. Keep it secret. Work quietly. Let your results speak for you. Milo promised to try. The next morning, he woke up with another idea. This time it felt special. Near the forest school stood an old abandoned playground. The swings were broken. The slide was cracked. The climbing ropes had fallen apart. Many young animals wished they had a safe place to play. Milo decided he would rebuild the playground. His first instinct was to run through the forest and announce his plan. But then he remembered Oliver's words. Keep it secret. Work quietly. Let your results speak. Milo took a deep breath. For the first time in his life, he told nobody. Not Benny. Not the squirrels. Not the birds. Nobody. Instead, he got to work. The first day was difficult. He cleaned weeds around the playground. The second day was even harder. He gathered wood. The third day was exhausting. He carried supplies across the forest. No one praised him. No one applauded. No one even knew what he was doing. Several times he wanted to quit. Several times he wanted to tell everyone. But he stayed silent. Week after week, Milo continued working. Sometimes he woke up tired. Sometimes rain soaked his fur. Sometimes his paws hurt. Yet every day he took one small step forward. Meanwhile, the other animals noticed something strange. Milo had become unusually quiet. Benny the rabbit finally asked him. Do you have any new plans? Milo smiled. Maybe. What are they? You'll see someday. Benny looked surprised. This was not the old Milo. Months passed. Little by little, the playground transformed. A new swing appeared. Then a slide. Then climbing ropes. Then colorful decorations. The project was becoming beautiful. One evening, while hammering a wooden board into place, Milo felt exhausted. He sat down and stared at the unfinished playground. The work seemed endless. What if nobody likes it, he wondered. What if I've wasted all this effort? For a moment he considered giving up. At that exact moment, Oliver the owl landed nearby. You look tired. I am tired. Do you regret your decision? Milo thought carefully. No. Why not? Because even though nobody knows what I'm doing, I know I'm making progress. Oliver smiled proudly. That is the sound of real growth. Milo continued working. Finally, after many months of effort, the playground was complete. It looked magical. Bright colors decorated every corner. Strong swings hung from sturdy branches. The slides sparkled in the sunlight. Flowers surrounded the playground. It was more beautiful than anyone had imagined. The next morning, Milo invited the entire forest to visit. The animals arrived, curious and confused. When they reached the playground, they gasped. Wow! This is amazing! Who built this? The young animals ran toward the swings laughing. Parents smiled. Birds sang happily. Everyone was filled with joy. Then Benny turned to Milo. Did you build this? Milo nodded. The crowd fell silent. You mean you've been working on this all this time? Yes. Why didn't you tell us? Milo smiled. Because I wanted to show you the result instead of talking about the plan. The animals erupted into applause. But this applause felt different. This wasn't praise for an idea. This was respect for completed work. For the first time in his life, Milo experienced the satisfaction of turning a dream into reality. That evening, Oliver sat beside him. How do you feel? Milo looked at the laughing children playing on the swings. I feel happier than ever. More than when people praised your ideas. Much more. Oliver nodded. Because real success comes from achievement, not attention. Years passed. Milo became known throughout the forest. Not because he talked about dreams. But because he made them happen. Whenever he had a new idea, he worked quietly. People often wondered how he accomplished so much. His answer was always the same. Dream in silence. Work in silence. Let success make the noise. Young animals began seeking his advice. One little squirrel asked him, "What is the biggest mistake dreamers make?" Milo smiled. They confuse talking with doing. Another animal asked, "What is the secret to success?" Milo pointed toward the playground. One small action every day. The lessons spread across the forest. Soon many animals stopped bragging about their plans. Instead, they focused on consistent effort. The forest became more beautiful than ever. New gardens appeared. New homes were built. New inventions were created. Not because animals talked more, but because they worked more. One evening, as the sun painted the sky orange and gold, Milo sat beside Oliver once again. "Thank you," Milo said. "For what?" "For teaching me that powerful lesson." Oliver smiled. "You learned it yourself." He only pointed the way. Milo watched children laughing in the playground he had built. Then he understood something important. Dreams are like seeds. If you keep digging them up to show everyone, they never grow. But if you plant them quietly and care for them patiently, they eventually become something beautiful. And that, dear friends, is the lesson of today's story. Not every dream needs an audience. Not every plan needs an announcement. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is work quietly while everyone else is talking. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Let your results tell your story. And remember, never share your plans until they become reality. Because dreams grow strongest when they are protected by patience, effort, and determination. If you enjoyed this inspiring story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Money Tales, and share it with someone who has a big dream. Until next time, keep believing, keep working, and keep turning your dreams into reality. Day in.